right, here we go live. All right, good deal. We're live with another Ashes of Creation dev update. This is take 2 of the Alpha 2 Village Nodes update. First one, audio was unset, so I am going to go through it again. So just know this isn't a first reaction. This is probably the third or so time that I have seen this stream, but hopefully that means I get to notice more. The whole point of going through these streams, working our way backward through these 70-something videos, is to get more context that we didn't notice before, and it's working well so far. And I'm just going to go ahead and go live with it now. Let's do it. Ashes of Creation Village Nodes Update. Oh, I get excited every time I hear this music. Are you pumped up? Alpha 2 coming Q3.
And welcome everyone to another live stream here in the
Welcome.
Rivera. And boy, do we have an exciting stream today. We are back again looking at one of the most defining features of Ashes of Creation, the node system.
It is. It's critical.
I am joined today by regular face on the live stream, one of our glorious senior designers, Mr. Chris. How you doing, Chris?
Oh, I'm doing swell. I don't know if I'd say regular, though.
Well, I mean, you know, there's one.
Steven's got a rather disgruntled crew on this
regular.
one.
Now it's 2 times. Yeah. That's a regular thing, right?
I don't know. I feel like you're a regular on the streams.
That's true. All right, I apologize. We are joined once again by one of our glorious designers, Mr. Chris.
Olive Branch. Yeah, there you go, Chris.
Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
And for those of you who don't know, Chris is our resident expert when it comes to nodes. He lives, eats, breathes, and any other normal bodily function that's required revolves around the node.
We're going to leave that one alone.
So I'm glad to have you with us because you know what there needs to be known about nodes.
There's things to be known that he knows.
Yeah, lots of things need to be known, but we're outside of a beautiful node that's around the corner a little bit.
Okay.
I've got to pay attention this time. I don't know if they say what level this node is.
Of this node for the purposes of what we're
Tyrant.
Demonstrating a little bit later.
Yeah, the citizens aren't super happy that you, invalidated the election process, but
wow, it's
yeah,
not
welcome.
It's a reaffirmation of the correct election process.
That's what your fellow tyrants say.
So tell me what we're doing out here today. What are we going to be showcasing here? It's been a long time since we've actually taken a look at nodes, as many of you know. The last time we saw nodes was back during Alpha 1 in August of 2021. Wow. And nodes during that time were, relatively early functional version. They had a lot of the core systems and functionality present that we saw, which was, constructing buildings and participating in quest hubs. They were able to purchase housing and become citizens. There was all that there, but they were a very early representation of it, and definitely not visually or aesthetically what we wanted to present. That's going to be part of what we're showing. But what are we doing out here today? And while you tell me what we're doing, I'm just going to adjust some of the wind.
Look at the grass.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's go, Hurricane. Please do it.
Today we're going to walk
he's got precip control, temperature.
General process of what it takes to build a building. We're going to get some materials. We're going to get the nodes some materials. We're going to get the nodes some money.
We're going to do some work, Steven.
And we're going to build ourselves a little service building.
Nice. So we're going to go generally around the loops that players can expect. And obviously nodes are a huge system. They are, as I said, one of the defining features of Ashes of Creation. What sets us apart from other MMOs, they reflect the
light,
that exists within
like the art's beautiful. It's not a criticism, but I do feel like some of that haze and that washout maybe needs to be toned down. Maybe it's just the time of day. I can't say.
Is utilizing. And as a mayor, one of those core loops is, as you mentioned, buy orders. Tell me, should I be starting one of these? How would I go about doing that?
Yeah, it's called insider trading.
We should do that. There is a lovely menu you can open with the
That's where we're going
button,
here.
N.
Okay. All right. Oh, I see the node. Here.
And then you're going to go to the treasury page.
Got it. I am on the treasury, and I see there's a
Now,
number of different items in our node inventory.
yeah, so
including...
these are node commodities, and they're the resources the node uses for lots of things like siege defense. They're going to use it for maintenance. They're going to use it to build buildings. They're going to trade it with other nodes.
Cool. And these are essentially the resources that the node are going to be using in order to initiate those activities, like construction projects you were mentioning, or trading with other nodes. And what is the method by which we actually acquire as a node these goods? Because these goods are not things that exist within player inventories.
Make some
but
adjustments
rather
here.
They are generated by players interfacing with the environment in some way, shape, or form, and then bringing those materials to the node to get transitioned into these node inventory items.
Exactly. So we're going to do what's called a buy order. So if you look in the bottom left of your treasury screen, you're going to see a little plus button. You can click that and it'll open you up to a big list of commodities that you can select to kind of set some settings on the buy orders.
Okay, cool.
All right,
This is
all right.
looking good. And
So I was confused the
as
first
usual,
time, but I
guys,
think I understand
everything
this
that
now.
you see is a work in progress. We are moving towards our Alpha 2, so you get to see, as part of our open development, things that are still works in progress, like the UI. This is...
So that's Steven's disclaimer he's got to do because of Reddit people and the internet. If you look at the select materials, you see granite and granite. I think he's about to change that. Whatever those things get grouped together, that's the package. And that confused me at first, and they'll explain the rest.
Is a functional UI system, but it is not the version of our final UI artistically. Same is true for everything you see in the environments and in the world. So what should I be selecting today? What do we need? What are we trying to build?
You're going to need some bins of stone.
Bins
We're going to build
o'
a
stone.
forge today. Or a
nice.
smithy. We renamed
okay.
it. It's not a forge anymore.
Okay.
It's a smithy, lad.
And you're going to need bins of stones for it.
All right, so I see bins of stone in the industrial goods section. And over on the right-hand side, I see that I have the ability as the mayor to customize the buy order. And what elements of this would I want to customize and why?
Yeah, so the first thing you see at the top is the recipe, right? The recipe is going to change the mins and maxes of the parameters you see below.
That's
how
what
much
did it.
you can pay players for these items, how long you can keep them active, and the ingredients are options you have.
Does that say
for,
T1 mining recipe?
The recipe that you've picked, right, for different materials. So obviously, not all materials are going to be local to all locations. So kind of picking the right things to either incentivize players from a long distance to bring things to you, or picking things local because you need them now and you need them fast and you need them for a low amount of
sharing out
investment.
the stream here.
Okay,
Don't mind me.
The first thing I'm looking at is this purchase price. And is this what I'm paying players essentially from the node treasury on a per item basis of these materials?
So a buy order comes as a package, so players deliver them as a package. And you are paying per package functionally, but that is not in gold; it's in node currency, which is the primary way that nodes.
Yeah, they're going to go into this a little bit more. I'm still confused with this node currency. Maybe I'll figure it out in another video. But what is it good for?
They're going to reward players.
Okay, cool. And so when I'm purchasing that package, is it that I'm buying one basalt and one halcyon and that is a package, or am I buying 50 basalt and 50 halcyon and that is a package?
That's going to depend on the recipe, but so it's not exactly always going to be the same amount of each, and the amounts it's per package will vary based on the amount of investment the node has to put into the buy order.
Okay, cool. All right, so I'm going to set this, because I am a benevolent mayor, and
he's the most gracious of tyrants.
For their hard work and effort in helping to establish what the node that we are collectively a part of needs, and I'm going to set that to 2, right, just above the minimum, just
and
barely
I will say,
above it.
The more you pay, the more it will cost the node's treasury.
Oh, okay. Maybe I'll set this back down to 1.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just kidding.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Now you see why the citizens are mad.
There
That's
is a
not-
list
they're perfectly
of
happy.
reasons.
We just had a election last week. There's a 99% approval rating for me. So, and that 1% they.
How very banana republic of us.
They were in a plane. No, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Seems
so-
like DC.
All right,
Wow.
duration-wise, let's see, 3 days. Now, is this the amount of time that players have the opportunity to kind of turn these things in?
Exactly. So the last slider that you have there is quantity. And basically, when you initiate a buy order, the node is paying for it, right? So regardless of whether players finish it, you've paid for it. So the longer it's up.
So I'm sure this is clear to everybody else, but the buy order I think is just the starting of the building, because they're going to go into it later, where you have to voluntarily bring resources like wood and stone to complete the building. And just like they will say, it's to keep the mayor from building stuff we don't want. So it's kind of interesting.
Up, the more likely you are to get paid out. But the shorter windows allow people to kind of capitalize on it.
Sure.
The early bird gets the worm.
And just to be clear, I know exactly what many of the people in the audience are thinking. That
What
if
are we thinking?
I was the mayor and I knew what
Oh,
types of buy
here it
orders
is.
I was intending to launch at some date, I could inform, via some type of insider trading, what that is going
So
to
this
be.
game is modeled
Potentially
after real life.
bring those
Good,
resources
good.
to the node in advance and purchase out all the buy orders.
Yeah, that is definitely true. The mayor
Steven's
does have
obviously
some
been
power
reading about
to,
congressmen lately and other officials.
give people warning, but they also have the power to pull the rug out from under those people too, right?
Yes,
Tell
a
them
little
you
bit of
need bins of
intrigue.
stone and you need, basalt and halcyon, but you actually use iron.
Okay, interesting. And then that way, if they are bringing those things, usually via caravan, given that a lot of the quantities for these types of buy orders are going to be relatively large in order to accommodate the necessary material components that the node requires, they might be subject to attack potentially, right? And so reputation matters here. So I see that.
Yeah, I
that
know a
I'm-
guy. It
in
fell off the
choosing
truck.
quantity,
Yeah.
I'm choosing 116 different packages, which means I'll get 116 basalt and 116 halcyonite, and that will help us to finish this project. Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and.
Yeah, I'm
save.
still a little unclear on this
Order
because you
details,
still
okay,
will have to bring
yes.
more resources to finish it.
Oh, okay. So this package it's not a one-to-one per se. This is 117 packages, which will constitute total of 696 basalt and 232 halcyon.
Okay, based on the
Total
recipe.
reserve cost
Makes
is
sense.
25. I'm going to confirm this. Okay,
right.
There we go. All right. So it's kicking off. All right. So I assume you've brought me out here. Now, I don't normally participate in direct menial labor as the mayor of this node.
I have
But
serfs
for
for that,
demonstration
yeah.
purposes, I will help you collect some of these resources.
Yes.
I see we're out here in a beautiful part of the world. This is obviously the Riverlands, which many of our audience are accustomed to seeing. This will be one of the primary locations that we'll be testing for Alpha 2. It is expansive. It is large. It is probably larger than most MMOs, just as a single biome that people have participated in.
Oh, it's going to be insane.
We have some familiar halcynite here.
Yep, I've got some insider information from the artisanship team on where we need to go.
Nice. Very cool.
Seems to be a theme.
We've added some blue smoke, I see, to the...
Yeah, it's pretty smooth. Oh, I like it.
To the effects here. Looks very good.
It's one of the things I'm most excited about this game is you're not going to just
players who are
automatically
interested in see this kind of
getting
update,
these resources regenerating. They've talked about it in the past where you can have overuse of resources and they get depleted. Hello, chat. TGFT. Oh, TGF Tavern. My sorry. All right. Hello. Here we go.
at the node of the necessary materials requested. Not all the time will those materials be in the locality of that node, right? That's as you were mentioning, a bit strategic for the node.
New to Ash is like within the last 3 months, going back through all the dev updates.
Correct, and they
Scouring
might not even
for
have
more
access to
information.
buy orders for certain node commodities
Thank you,
that
you.
are local to them, right?
Okay.
So higher tier commodities will be, further away.
Yeah, it's a great wiki.
Very cool.
Great wiki.
And will players around the world have an opportunity to inspect the types of bioorders that are currently listed at a particular node?
Yeah, they will be able to.
Cool. Very cool. So those of you who are traders and are interested in kind of, I'm going to start moving down this road now. Those of you who are traders and are interested in actually capitalizing on the supply and demand of
that
nodes,
white washout's a little bit
their
much for
competing
me. I think
interests
they're
and
going
what
to
they're
tone
trying
that
to
down.
accomplish will have an opportunity to move those goods around the world, take that risk potentially, but receive a high reward as a result.
Yeah, the shipping of goods and the economy in this game are just going to be over the top.
Ooh, I see we have someone up ahead here.
Who wanders?
Looks like a lovely guard.
A guard doing his duty. Let me pay him a visit and tell him how wonderful of a job he is doing. Fare thee well, God. Hello.
Oh, I can't be bothered with you.
Stop when your mayor is talking. Hey,
Listen, they're busy people.
does he not recognize my authority?
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I think they've already updated the environment. Because people were complaining about the shadows in the village.
Unbelievable.
Even though the village looks amazing.
This is a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's just a lot of fine
The environment
tuning.
team did a phenomenal job, obviously. Always. And I think one of the big things that people are going to be in for a surprise here as we showcase this glorious node. Where are we going, by the way? This is Winstead?
This is the lovely Winstead node.
Winstead.
So one of the biggest differences that people are going to notice today, and of course it's very important to keep in mind.
You didn't like the lanterns?
Walk mode here.
I know there's a scene coming up with the lanterns. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. Maybe I'm wrong.
That nodes in Alpha 1, the last time we saw them,
This is just incredible.
were very placeholder. Right, as I said, they were core
Just
functionality,
incredible.
But artistically, they did not represent the aesthetic of nodes that we were intending to create. And the environment team has been hard at work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Creating obviously the different stages of these nodes, but also in representing the type of visual fidelity that we want to represent within the cities of our game. And I believe that we have arrived.
By far, this is one of my favorite
Winstead,
updates, though. And this is
we are
like take
joined
two going
by
through it
some
because
additional glorious
I
members of
botched the
development
audio
team. I
last
see
night.
Two of them
Yeah.
here. We have Mr. Tristan, our lead environment artist. Tristan, how you
Tristan!
doing, buddy?
Hello, welcome. I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing very good. We just went for a little stroll, got some resources, and now we're showing up
Alright.
back to the node.
You got everything we need?
I do. I think I have everything we need.
All right, good.
We also have with us, I see, Adam. How you doing, buddy?
I am good, thank you.
Hello.
One of our glorious environment artists.
Everybody's glorious.
And there's one more missing. He's around here somewhere.
What? Where is he?
It's the murderer.
Is he over here? What is this? Is this the caravansary, by the way?
It is the caravansary.
Oh.
Yeah, this is cool to see now after seeing the caravan
Let's take
update.
a look at what's going on in here real quick.
I love all these connections and seeing these things.
And this is where players will have an opportunity to reserve.
So there's the
caravan stalls.
lanterns. I think there's some lanterns up underneath some eaves in the buildings.
Live stream probably a couple months away.
Yeah.
Or so, where you can kit out your.
They do
caravans
like
with different
wooden
components, you can
trains.
Upgrade these, and that is a default building, correct? The nodes don't select and create those by agency,
Correct.
but they come by default.
Yeah, that is a building that comes with the node, though it is upgradable by the node.
I see. Now where is our third? Where is James?
Yeah, James.
Oh, we have found him.
The evil
Welcome,
James.
James.
Hey, I was just doing
You'll
some
find
work at
out.
the house. As
Oh,
an
you
early
have a-
citizen, I was able to get some real
Ah,
estate.
Very nice. Okay, look at that beautiful little house you have there. It's quaint. I think that's the appropriate term, right?
Yeah, I see that lantern on the
Pay your
corner of the
taxes on
house. I see what you're
You don't really
saying.
pay us enough, so.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
Unbelievable. It is not the mayor's job.
There are some
to assign these
disgruntled
salaries. This is a
citizens.
purely capitalist society. Those are, that you need to speak to your corporate head.
Oligarchy, more is like,
I
you know.
didn't vote for you.
Oh no.
Hey
We'll
guys,
be
I gotta hit
talking
with
after
some-
this stream.
Let's talk about your severance package.
James is invisible.
Oh, James, where are you?
I drank a potion of invisibility.
But I see
very
you.
nice. I can see you, James. I think you look
Well, that's
very
just
nice for me.
that's because you're the mayor.
Yes, that is correct. I see all. I'm the mayor of
Mhm.
Sauron. No,
Yeah,
let's
precisely.
head into
He has
the
Sauron
node
tendencies.
and take a look here. This is, I mean, truly a sight to see. I love the layout. I love the aesthetic. You guys did a phenomenal job with actually representing, I think. What
Okay,
we
so
want
what about that lantern under
out of
there?
the
That
node.
looks
I mean,
good to me.
visually, it's just, it looks great.
Underneath the
Ooh,
building.
piglet.
Yeah, you might find a few
Aw.
little small farm animals to hang out with
Yeah,
around the town. But
Those guys are great.
foreshadowing.
Little piglet. Talk to me a little bit about what it took to bring this node online and
God, it's
to
just
the
gorgeous.
visual fidelity that we wanted to.
I've said it a bunch of times. I love the people just carrying things, doing
there's far
work.
more than just making the art here look good. It's also anticipating how we're going to approach 8 different races or more in terms of the amount of assets that we have to create. So it's more of a, it's not just an artistic problem, it's a logistic problem, right? So we have so much to do.
Filthy, muddy streets.
The world in terms of the biomes and making this all work and functional, because all this is dynamic. This isn't set in stone. This is something that's going to be spawned and created by the players.
So I think Steven's got HOA tendencies, and I'm surprised he's not finding his citizens for this overgrown grass. We're going to have to get some sheep in here.
Built up by the players. So.
And that, of course, makes it entirely more complex.
Oh, yeah.
100%. Like,
Yep.
we had to develop new systems for how we develop the art, how we lay out the art,
Right,
how
right.
design can use the art, just so that it can be dynamic, it can be different races,
Right.
and it can show up in different biomes.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Not to mention we had to build up a new aesthetic to, really sell an Ashes of Creation look.
It's just,
Steven, before you go any further,
it looks
can you come real
alive.
quick?
Yeah.
I said this yesterday. I want to live in this.
Back
I want to
over
live
here.
in this node.
You just come back here.
I am on my
Mercy
way.
readiness.
Over here, Mayor.
Where? Oh, this is cool. So there's like these little back alley areas where.
Tristan, why don't you go with him?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We posted something up here.
Oh, what is this?
Who's that little fella?
All right,
Who
so
is
this showed up
Tristan?
in a
Have you
later
seen
node.
me?
I think the artisan
Who's
node.
that?
I don't
Who
see
is
it.
that guy? Is that Tristan?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I agree.
That's
I can't wait to see the other
Lord
nodes.
himself.
Oh wow! I am currently on the missing board.
You're
here.
on the missing.
I am a
board.
systems junkie,
It's alright. At least people care about me.
and oh my God, the complexity of these nodes interacting and developing at different rates.
Yeah, the reward
Oh.
reward is 10 cents. So
Oh,
Well,
Yeah,
it's
race will
different,
definitely
but
play a role in the
At least
nodes,
somebody's paying attention. To
and
me,
then
where I am,
scientific,
whereabouts are.
military,
oh, that is
etc.
hilarious. So, talk to me a little bit about. We're going to get back to your the systems real quick in a second, guys. But I want to just kind of go over what are some of the unique hurdles that we are accomplishing through the development of these nodes, especially considering that they have to go through multiple different stages of development, from crossroads to encampment to village to town to city to
Yeah, which one is
eventually
this?
these large
Is this a village?
metropolises, and how that
City,
makes
village,
this a
city,
very
town. I
complicated
think town's
process
the
for you
next one
guys.
then, right? I got to look up the wiki.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we have to plan for the buildings being able to expand, to get taller, to get bigger, and that has to.
They did call this the village nodes update. So this is a village. I answered the question by reading. Imagine that.
From, like you said, camp to metropolis, and then kind of work within those bounds. And there's been a lot of discoveries and pain.
I mean, just the
and
flowers, dude.
tribulation along the way, and this guy just
Dude's
died.
over here doing work.
Oh no.
But yeah, it's it's a work in progress, like it is for every stream, right? Like, but I think we've have a good start here, and we'll be able to really kind of push.
Oh my God.
and-
The HOA is not going to be pleased.
in the
You need to
future.
mow this grass, Steven.
Absolutely, it is. It is a beautiful view. This area.
Okay.
And I know that there's been some changes kind of in how we.
So just seeing the
anticipate
town upgrade is going to be
expansion
incredible because this is awesome.
and utilizing a more district-oriented approach, where expansions kind of are previewed or at least telegraphed to the node as development continues, as expansion grows. Players start to see construction taking place.
I would totally live in Winstead.
Within the node to
Absolutely.
represent those expanding areas.
Yeah,
Wilderness,
that's right.
Crossroads,
As-
Camp,
as
Village,
the,
Town,
areas
City, Metro. So we still have 3 stages after
bring
this.
more online with their node. You'll start to see the outskirts of
Thanks for
this
that,
village,
Tavern.
for instance, start to have little construction projects. Grass will be cleared.
Oh, the grass will finally be cleared.
Scaffolding and other things being placed, as well as materials, and you'll start to see
This
the
guy's
village
moonwalking.
expand into a town, and then a town into a city, and so forth and so on.
Seem to be a lot of barrels in town.
To be able to kind of build those
I know we
systems.
saw the whiskey and the wine, I think, in the artisan.
You know, well, you can see how it looks, but
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just, obviously for those of you who might be a little bit newer to the audience and the project, the systems that are in place to accompany
look at that roof.
this node progression, these city progressions across
Oh,
the world, are really intended
beautiful.
to be defined by player activity, player action, player choices. Whoops, I have a little bit of a
Pay no mind. It's fine.
mesh issue over there, but that's okay.
I love this. It's not some flat
meant to reflect the player choices,
plane
right?
that this is built
includes
on.
Building construction, and as we were talking about earlier, these buy orders are the primary method by which nodes can
Absolutely, it
procure,
does.
the resources necessary. One of the other methods by which nodes
I was tempted to
can
run a
help,
tavern in game. I don't know.
kind of utilize that
On a
expansion
freehold.
is through treasury acquisition, with taxation, with trade agreements and other nodes. Chris, we have some resources we've collected. Where are we going to head to next to kind of utilize that?
Well,
yeah.
if you'll follow me over here,
Alrighty.
we're gonna go to the warehouse.
All right, I'm on my way.
Let's
with
do
you
it.
to the warehouse.
Now, this is a building that you're gonna, manage your material and item storage. You're going to obviously interface with the buy order manager. I think he's called the requisition agent these days.
All right.
Cool.
I just
So
love
we're
the
gonna talk
activity
to
in
this
town.
Lovely fellow over here.
This guy here.
Yep.
All right.
Didn't they talk about at one point like shop owners would only be there certain hours, and like if it's a player shop, it's only when that player's there. So you're not going to have. I would actually like that if the NPC isn't standing at his shop at midnight. I think.
Let's see here. Okay, here we go. All right, and as you see, kind of the portrait still, outstanding. You're going to see that some of the UI. Greetings, citizen. I am tasked with purchasing goods. Which
Yeah, the freehold's going to be an achievement for sure. Maybe that's where this node currency comes in. I think I remember him saying that.
Really, the disrespect. Okay, I am tasked with purchasing goods.
I think I'm remembering that right. The node currency will be. I think that counts towards like freeholds and stuff.
I would indeed. Exchange rate. Okay. All right. And so now, anybody who is participating as a citizen or as just a player in the game can go to these locations and they can fulfill these buy orders. So right now I'm seeing that I can adjust the quantity of goods that I'm going to be offering to the node.
So what's your opinion on the
And
mini
we might
map,
have a little bit of a problem
chat?
here because it's saying that the total value of goods
I'm
I
not
want
in
to
love with
contribute
it.
are 232
I think I want
currency
more
worth
contrast. I really can't make
to-
much out of it.
to the node.
Well, you're exchanging 2 for every. You're getting 2 for every package you're fulfilling, and you can fulfill all of them.
The mini map up in the right
Should I
corner.
do that?
I mean, do you want to share the love?
Okay, I'll do that. So I exchange, confirm. Let's see here. Total materials. Process this order for 232. I will confirm that. Boom. Done. So now I have acquired node currency in exchange for this,
All right.
for these materials.
Correct. Also, you did all of it. You didn't share anything.
Uh-oh. What does that mean?
Well, the currency is bound, so you can't trade it with anyone. So you
Oh.
fulfilled the whole buy order, and you took all the reward.
Oh. I thought you meant share.
Yeah,
as
if you
in,
could
like,
adjust
I
the
would take
transparency of
that
the
and then
map to your
later
own
I would
desired
use what I
level, I think that would be
received
good.
and give those to other people in other means, like through, servitude as a servant-oriented type leader. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't know you meant actually not fulfill the order.
Listen, I need some node currency.
Oh.
Help a brother out.
I'm sorry, I didn't know that's what you meant. I thought you meant share as in like me give more resources. I didn't. Okay. Will that be a problem or are we good?
No, we're good. We're good.
Oh, okay. Cool,
I'm just a little
cool.
hurt.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Mistakes
Well, I
were
can speak for you
made.
guy. I know some people here at this node.
Okay, for sure. Hook me up.
All right, so we fulfilled this buy order. What is next in this loop?
So now we are going to talk about taxes.
Yeah, Alpha
You
2 is
just
going to be
spent, as a
awesome.
node, 25 gold to
I need to pull the trigger and
initiate that
purchase.
buy order, right?
Yes.
Eventually, we're
I
going to
see
need.
the treasury says I have 75 remaining.
Yeah, and that should be enough to build the building, but you probably want to start replenishing now, right?
Yes.
So you're going to open up your node panel again.
Okay.
And take yourself to the treasury page.
Done.
And you're going to look, there's a taxes area.
Taxes area.
It says tax rates.
Oh my god.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's getting close.
Tax
And
rates.
you're going to be able to adjust those as the mayor.
So I want to go to advanced details.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got that fear of
Oh,
missing out
okay, perfect.
if I don't
And so
get
this is,
the
I
Alpha
see that
2
there are
now.
a number of different potential modifiers.
I'm not sure they're going to approve my
We
content creator
probably are going to be,
application just
offered
because the
out,
channel's so small right now, but
as either the node
we'll see.
levels
We'll
up
see.
Or as upgrades. How does that work? Talk to me a little bit about these
Yes.
modifiers.
So at a high level, in early node development, you're not going to get access to a lot of these, right? This is probably pretty close to what a node level 3 is going to end up
Yeah, I
giving.
agree. I'll probably
and
just
we've
pull the
broken
trigger. I don't know.
Things that cost money in the node into different categories, right?
Yeah, they did say that about
As the
all
node,
content creators.
levels up,
I
you're gonna
really
get
love these
access
devs.
to kind of deeper controls on the taxes, so that you as a mayor can kind of incentivize players to come to your node to do certain things, right? If you're a node that loves, smithing, you're probably going to want to lower your taxes on artisanship to incentivize players
Right.
to be here. But then you might want to drive up taxes in other avenues that players aren't necessarily coming to your node for, but are using out of convenience, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
So
Ashes of Creation is the whole reason that I learned how to do
Yep.
OBS
So I
and
would
started
recommend
streaming in the
cranking those
first place.
taxes.
I do other games to keep my
Oh, man,
time
not
filled right now, but
here we go.
it's going to be all
This is
Ashes
not
all the
me.
time when
This
it comes
is-
out.
It takes a village, literally. That's what we're doing right now.
It takes from a village.
It definitely takes from a villager.
And it goes to the roads, right?
Yes, it goes to the potholes in the roads.
Yeah, the
There
mud and
seems
muck.
to be quite a lot of them here.
Yeah.
I have adjusted the tax rate to 75%.
Oh,
All right, now if we go over here to
I don't
this
know.
side,
Maybe I don't want to live in Winstead.
All right.
You can go ahead and
75%?
buy some stuff, and 75% of the base cost of these items is going to go to the.
Look at the
It's gonna go to
distinguished
treasury.
beard on that gentleman.
Ooh. Let's see here.
Yeah, I know the
It's
tax
grayed
rate.
out for me.
They're just
Yeah,
playing
it's
around right now. I get it.
some placeholder stuff.
Yeah, third quarter on Alpha
what's
2,
with-
right?
I don't have room for some stuff, so I'm just going to be killing some things. Nobody pay any attention to the non-existent icons.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure
that's
Reddit will.
spending.
All right.
Okay, I will now interact with this gear vendor, and let's see if he can sell me some items. You know, these are grayed out for me.
Do you have any
Hmm.
money?
Oh my god.
No, I'm broke, baby.
It looks like you probably only have node currency.
I need some money. I'm going to use a cheat panel. Nobody look. This is a little bit of a cheat panel, okay? You're going to see where I
There's
can-
nothing happening here. These are not the droids you're looking for.
We'll just
Yeah.
pixelate it.
Yeah. Nobody sees anything. Where
You
do I
know,
want
maybe
to
you
go
did
here?
need that node currency more than I did.
Yeah. So what do I do? Character gold. Let me get some gold. Give gold. You know, I'm gonna give myself 1,000, and I will now speak with this individual again who was so rude and curt with me when I tried to buy stuff from him. Didn't know who I was.
I know there was some talk about it in one of the
Okay, cool.
recent
So, we wanna generate some
updates.
for the
I
node.
definitely want
Let's see
AI
here.
voice for the
Making some
NPCs
purchases.
because I never read all that stuff.
Oops, I probably need to hold on. Sorry, my bad. to.
I'm sure it'll come. It'll come late, maybe beta.
Some of these different items. How do I make that purchase? So I'm just selecting these items.
Yep, you should just be able to right-click them.
Right.
Right click. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, because you're not going to read that microscopic print on the live stream.
Okay, how much gold do we need for the node right now?
This is more not for you to just make a bunch of gold right away, but just to make sure we're getting more gold over time. We have
Okay.
enough to make the building.
All right,
Let me
let's
check
do it. Let's go build some
node
stuff.
Treasury. The node treasury now has 112.
That should be plenty. So now, you want to build a building, Steven?
I want to build a building.
All right. Well, let's go have a nice little waltz. Well, actually, open your mayor panel here for us.
Okay, mayor panel is open.
And you're gonna hit N and go to the buildings tab.
Done.
Now, here you're gonna see a list of all the buildings we currently have constructed.
All right.
Since this is a pretty new node, all the
And
buildings
then
in this
empty
list
plots.
are,
So yeah, they have a limited
what we
number
call
of plots
default
at this
buildings,
stage.
which means
Cool.
they come pre-constructed with the node. But if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you're going to see the empty
Yeah, I
lot.
think it was a previous stream. I should be getting to it
And
with the
just to be
weather
clear,
update. It
the
was
default
so good.
buildings are
So good.
offering default services, as you were saying, apartments, warehouse.
Yeah,
for
so 4
storage,
slots. Okay.
For the caravansary, for the caravans and reception of those caravans. Like, all nodes will have a base default list of services that are offered regardless of type. And then what we're doing now is we're specializing the node to cater specific services in order to draw traffic of players to us.
Correct. Yeah, all the services that come default with the node, we've kind of, as a design team, deemed essential, right? We want caravans to move around the world, so everyone should have a caravansary. We want players to have storage, so everyone should have a warehouse, right?
Cool.
But that doesn't mean those default buildings can't be upgraded and specialized themselves, right?
Yeah, each node's going to have
But
its own
the empty
personality,
plots
even
are where
if
you
it
really get
is
to
the
start
same
specializing
race.
your node.
Even if it was the same,
All right.
you know, what is it, scientific node? Like, there's so many different paths.
Correct.
I like it.
Okay, I've selected the building.
Yep.
Oh, okay, here we go. We have a little bit of a tree here that talks about its expansions.
Yeah, this is going to be cool.
Buildings can expand, and as I kind of alluded to with the default buildings, they specialize as they expand, right? So this isn't like a traditional skill tree. It's exclusionary.
Yeah, I like the exclusionary skill trees. It can't be like New World where, you know, you can be the master of all things as a character or as a town. I like it. Like, you have to make a choice. It has to matter.
More like a tech tree, right? So selecting the next upgrade for it will lock out the other 2 paths, right? So as you get better with the building, it will continue to narrow, which allows lots of nodes to carve out lots of niches in the world.
Right on.
Very cool. And so, because of this, because it's exclusionary, it would be relevant for certain nodes in order to achieve a broader spectrum of upgrade potential within a.
Well, Chet, I think the citizens get input
to potentially build
by either bringing the resources to finish the building or not. I think that's where you get that.
You're probably going to have 3 smithies to capitalize on slashing.
Good question, because how long is it going to take? Like, how many iterations is it going to take to figure out what path we should have taken? And can you regress? Like, if they specialize in one direction that the people end up not liking, can you take a step back with another mayor?
Bludgeoning and piercing weapons, right? And then there are other things you can do with the policy system or with the relic system to kind of amp that up even further.
Very cool. Very cool. And so, let's say, and I know we don't have this, or I'm not sure if we have this yet implemented, but let's say, for example, I as the mayor, I'm about to start this build, right? Do I just click on this build right now?
Yep.
All right. Oh, okay, here we go. Construction requirements. So
yeah, if that node's not going a direction that benefits you, I think maybe you move. You know, unless you can steer the ship by being mayor. I don't know.
When this construction project begins,
And it's a big
citizens
world, so you should have
come to the
lots of places to
building
choose
and
from.
contribute resources to aid in its development.
Yeah, so unlike buy orders, you're not directly rewarded for this, right? As a player, this is kind of our way of ensuring that citizens want the thing that the mayor is asking them to do, or is spending resources on, right? So if you're a mayor and you're just like, I'm going to build a bunch of this building that no one wants, then players aren't going to contribute to it, and they're not going to get
There you
built.
go. He's answering part of this right now.
Cool. All right, let me confirm.
But yeah, you just kind of answered it too. I think if you have, this could be good and bad, but if you have a guild that's got enough sway in a node, I think you should be able to steer the ship that way.
Players will have 2 million days to provide the resources for construction. Well, that's good. You know, I want to be a lenient mayor. And I, you know, as many in the audience know,
Okay.
we expect Ashes to have a very long and fruitful lifespan as
It
a
shall.
product.
It shall.
And 2 million days is a bit on the, you know, maybe
Yeah,
conservative
I think I
side.
did the
We'll actually
calculation on
see
that last night,
overall.
Stephen. Yeah, that was
But I think it's a worthwhile time.
5,479.4 years.
Are we good with that? What do you think?
Should be
Chris?
fine.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Okay, 2 million days it is. Okay, where do we go to see the
It'll be
building?
plenty of time.
So we've constructed it over here. If you want to follow me this way.
All right, I'm following. I don't normally run in my own town, but I will. I will run for this
Listen,
building.
I got places to go, people to see.
People to see. You work at the behest of the mayor.
So
These
you know,
citizens
there's
are
a
out of
gentleman here
control.
you can talk to.
Right.
And
Does
this
he also
is
work
the.
for me? Just to be clear. He's
He does. He does.
Okay.
Technically, he works for the city.
Yeah.
I am the city.
I am the city.
I'm just kidding.
Sauron rises.
And this gentleman is the construction foreman, so this is where players will get to go to donate resources to the construction of a building.
Yep. Interesting. So, yeah, I think this is the thing. You're going to have the citizens on board to build anything. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
So he has nothing of nothing acquired. Well, what is it you say you do here, Mr. Construction Foreman? He hasn't collected yet any resources?
That's on us.
You just initiated it.
I mean, give it
Do I
time,
do everything
Steve.
myself? Should
Yes.
I give him 100 of the oak log?
Do it.
I mean, I think that's a fair thing to do.
All right. Let us donate. We shall donate to the foreman. Oh, it's beginning to construct.
Oh, I love this. I love the animations. I know they're going to get more
Rodolph's
microscopic
done a
on this
great
too.
job with this construction.
And they're going to
animation
talk about it, but the
graphics.
systems behind this
As
so
you'll
that they don't
see,
have
you're
to
gonna see a
redo
sped up
every
version
little
of this
thing
here,
for each
but
race.
typically, Chris talked
It's
to
going
me
to
a
be
little bit about
incredible.
the time expectation for these types of projects, and of course how that's a variable depending on the stage of the node and the building type itself.
Yeah, so you know, we want this to be an exciting thing. So
I love
once
this.
materials
You're going to come
are
into
kind of
town over
contributed to it
time and
it's
see these things
ready to
being
finish,
developed slowly.
there's going to be, you know, any kind of variable from like 15 to 20 minutes to even
Yeah,
couple of
I'm with
days
you
for
on
it to
that.
finish
Like it makes sense for to have
construction, depending on kind of
the scaffolding
power that the
on
building
tall
offers to
parts,
the
but for
players,
the
right?
little stone wall,
Very cool.
they're probably going to have to tone that back.
And James, Adam, Tristan, talk to me a little bit about how you guys go about constructing these different, you know, more modular sets of building creation, and what it takes to kind of, you know,
Like that makes
master
sense, I
that
guess, right
across
there.
the
Yeah.
multiple different cultures that we're anticipating to present within these villages.
You
Yeah.
want to take that one, Adam?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's a lot of trial and error, but you know, it took a lot of practice to figure out, you know, what the correct size of the buildings and the plots, the walls, the doors, all those things are, and then to dial them in so that going forward, any future races, it's all kind of.
I've said this before. I'm just amazed by the minds on this project and the level of detail and thought that goes into the systems, because just the magnitude of this project is just mind blowing when you really look at it from the system side. Stevens definitely encouraged a culture of engineering.
Somewhat plug and play, as long as we're making them to those specs. The big thing is the aesthetic and how that will change between races, which is, you know, still a work in progress. But like in this, for example, this one is a lot of Anglo-Saxon type architecture influence.
Yeah, the Kalar, absolutely.
Yeah, but that's how it works for the most part, and it's all modular, so we can make these buildings in mostly any size we want. So it could reach all the way up to the sky, multiple floors if we wanted to. Not saying we would, but and that's the idea. So then this
I'll take a
right
skyscraper.
here will
It's fine.
construct those pieces for the player, one piece at a time.
That looks good.
Very cool.
I think they're going to have people
Yeah,
building
yeah,
each of
yeah,
those
we
stages
previously
eventually
had a
too. Like you'll see the
different
little
version
dude
of this
putting the planks in
oh, look, it has a little
on
fireworks
each piece of the
playing
scaffolding.
above the building. That's awesome. So it's drawing attention kind of to the
Oh, it's just
construction.
gorgeous.
We had a version of this obviously in Alpha 1, and
How about that lantern in the
that was very sped
building? I
up,
like that.
for what we were trying to accomplish there. This technique is
Inside the
meant
building,
to
not the one
more
outside.
represent that longer period of construction requirement.
And a lot of what you see right now, it's technically being generated procedurally by the tech from our tech art team, which is Bruno has been putting together, which is like basically we kind of took an approach similar to other games that you might see in like strategy games and stuff like that. So there's a scaffolding approach that kind of builds things up and forms around, and you'll see some people kind of working and hammering. It's very rudimentary at this current point in time, but yeah,
Right,
the goal is to have it be as versatile as possible, so that when we actually need to make 100 of variations of these, we don't have to sit there and make animations one by one, which we did in the past. Which gets very complicated, very expensive. But in this case, it's more of a procedural, you plug and play, like
Right.
said.
But I do
run.
I do want to clarify that we're not saying that these nodes are fully procedurally generated.
No, there's a hard
The
template for
building
sure.
aspect is, but the nodes themselves still have a
It's not No Man's
made
Sky. Yeah.
aspect to it.
Right. Correct. Yeah. This is all just for the construction phase, so we can kind of have things done in a way
Mhm.
that feels natural, but doesn't really take years and years to actually complete the final product.
Right.
Yeah, they'll dial in the lighting, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Very, very impressive work. So, Chris, now that we have constructed
Oh, no.
this smithy, what are we doing? Do you have a little duckling following you?
Yes.
The duck
If you're
lines are-
sensitive, look
I
away.
have one following me right
Look
now.
away.
Oh my god.
But that can be fixed.
Oh
No,
my.
no.
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 It's happening. It's
Do
gonna
not
happen.
kill that-
Do it now.
Do it.
It's
Do
terrible.
not kill that duck.
It's
Oh
terrible.
My god.
Oh my god.
Oh God! Oh,
What are
God.
you
It's very
doing?
aggressive.
Savage.
What are you doing? Did you
Savage.
just murder that duck?
You
You just
monster.
murder our tax rate?
Just
Oh!
my god! You can't kill
He's
innocent
so
animals
angry.
over your disgruntledness tax
You could have
rates.
aimed at
I
Steven.
would say that's more for food for the village, but
I'm, rebellion. I'm trying to.
What have
You rebelled
done?
against a duck.
You can't even eat that. There's
Misplaced
not valuable
anger.
meat on this creature yet. That was
Uh,
just.
I
It's a,
dwarves.
I just got a hunting certificate, so.
did you really?
And this is an inside joke too. Yes.
No.
Goddess of creation herself has smote
There you go. I remember them talking about the ducks at Steven's house. This is an inside joke.
it needs to be done.
Chris, what are we gonna do
Terrible.
with this smithy?
Terrible.
Well, what do you want to do? We can do some armor smithing. We can do some weapon smithing. I honestly think after that heinous act against that duck,
It
you
was
really need
heinous.
some better weapons to defend the
Exactly.
beautiful creatures.
Letting
of this
any
duck.
kind of riffraff in your
Scream. I
town.
am so angry. I could just scream.
Oh,
Sorry.
well, over here is the weaponsmithing station.
All right. Cool. I was looking at this a little bit earlier. Whoops! I turned off my UI. All right. What do we have?
Well, I hear the artisanship team hooked you up with the ability to make a blood sword.
Nice.
Do I have materials? Oh, I do have some materials.
Yeah, I like the Tetris bags.
Oh, the Sandals of Holding bag.
Yeah,
It's
that's
infinite
the
space.
the cheat one. That's fine.
That is a GM bag. Okay, so I do have some materials. What do we want to do with this material?
We're gonna get
do you
to
want a
work.
blood sword or not?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Do I want a blood sword? Is a blood sword good? Is it better
Yeah.
than what I already have? Where's the
It's
blood
a
sword?
blood sword. Come on.
Crystallized blood sword. Okay, I see.
It's going to be a pretty spicy sword.
Spicy.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, let's try this. What are we going to do here? So I already have the materials for it.
Yeah.
So I just go
Yep.
to craft one quantity. Hold on, it says I can't craft this.
Yes, you got to add your mold to it.
So is the mold expendable?
I have
Is it a one and done?
selected my iron weapon mold. And I am using that mold and crafting. Oh, I do have a crystal blood sword now. I shall rule with a mighty fist.
This is why it's fun to go back through these. Just all the little details I've forgotten.
Well, do I actually have... Oh, I do have it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they answer it.
Oh, okay. That's pretty sweet. I like that. Yeah, it looks great.
This town is just beautiful.
Very cool.
Or a village.
All right, so now that we have constructed this building, there are also a number of upgrade paths that players can utilize to specialize the building further. We previewed that in the tech tree for the building, and each building comes with that sort of customizable path.
Well, I like the windows upstairs. They just barely showed them, but the lighting out of the windows, that
give
was
the
nice.
node a higher specialization, which makes it relevant for player traffic.
Right, and the idea with that too is no one node can do
So this is
anything,
by
right?
far,
So,
out of all the
it
ones that
kind
I've
of
gone back
is
through,
leading into
including
this
the
idea
Ranger
that you
update
need
and working
to
backward,
travel your goods
my
around the
favorite.
world and
Number
go
one
to a
right
lot of
here.
places to do a lot of things.
I think
right?
the weather one's going to end up being my number 2
Absolutely. Absolutely.
whenever I get to that.
This is a beautiful, I mean, gosh, this is just, I love the
This
atmosphere.
just being in this this
I
village
love
is just
the
over the
more
top.
nature-oriented aspects of the interior of the node. Now, this node, Tristan and Adam James, this has
I want to see little
more
details like that
autonomy,
ladder not always
than
being
what we
there,
were
things
seeing
moving
in
around.
Alpha 1. Talk to me a little bit about the types of node templates and footprints that we are leveraging with the design of these villages and cities.
Yeah, so there should be.
I have a feeling this game's just going to be full of Easter eggs.
They all have their different benefits.
Remember the sandal tree in the
In this
Ranger
case, we kind
update?
of have a plateau
It's just awesome.
landscape layout for this one. It's not like you said the flat landscapes that we've done in the past. We've also got ones that will be like rivers flowing through it, and as well as like being nudged up against, say, like a body of water or like a cliff face.
God, that's
sort of
gorgeous.
style. So in this case, this is one of the more basic versions that you'll see.
What's it going to be like to just see one of these like in game a bunch of time and know what it started to look like and where it ends up with the Metropolis? There's going to be a bond, a connection to your node. I think it's going to be deep.
Yeah, this one is academic, so I see we have kind of a placeholder node type.
You're going to have a reason to defend it.
That's the town hall.
Again,
it's
I'm
the
going to
town
start
hall.
a sheep lawn
This
mowing
placeholder
business that's out of
one here,
control.
kind of citadel-looking one, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, that is a work in progress. So we have that standing in for now.
Beautiful. So this is
Where
kind
are
of
all
where
our
the
taxes
activities take
going,
place
Stephen?
for, citizenship interactions, the paying of these dues, the opportunity for players to kind of interface
What is she
with
doing?
the local government and the custom quest arcs that are available based off of the surrounding POIs. Up here is kind of the
Oh,
city
that might be your
center, so to
tavern.
speak.
I don't know. What is that?
Right.
Right. This is
No.
where
It's got an outhouse.
elections happen, right? Normally.
When the tyrant's not in town.
When you don't GM command yourself mayor.
Wow, unbelievable.
Hmm.
I just sat down. You guys told me to GM myself, man.
There's also a place where punishments could happen.
Oh boy.
Where's that? Are there like gallows over here or something?
Yeah.
Is
Are
that
you
the type
threatening the
of-
mayor?
Yeah, is that the type of mayor that I am? Do I just have like public hangings or something?
I mean, if you're that type of mayor, you could just hang it.
I'm thinking he's that type of mayor.
Depends upon who messes with the ducklings. That's all.
Yeah, you duck murderer.
I gotta go.
I gotta go.
I noticed that we
Staying
have
in the
a bit of
crib
homage
tonight.
that we're paying to the excuse me, to the windmill monster that many players
That's
experienced
just-
in our pre-alpha
Oh,
testing.
Look at that.
Yep.
You guys remember that? That was like 2 days straight of us getting stuck at a loading screen back in like 2018, 2017.
It's just gorgeous.
That was a fun time. I love the
That being
windmill.
said, a mimic the size of a windmill would be pretty.
I think we actually did turn. So at some point we updated that image to be a windmill monster that was eating
Oh,
the
yeah.
pre-alpha players when they tried to
Oh,
join.
yeah.
It.
Windmill boss, that's right.
It's really good. Oh, it's beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful.
I want to fly past
So,
this on a dragon.
You know what?
Maybe toast the windmill a little bit.
I would like to thank each of you for showing our players the update to nodes. This is one of many updates that players will be seeing over the course of the next
Yeah, I want more nodes.
time.
I know
Alpha
people
2.
are all keyed up about
And as it
PvP,
relates to
combat, and all that
system
stuff, and it's
design,
important, but I
of
like the
these
nodes.
showcasing the core loops.
She's
with
still over there
mayors helping to initiate
doing
buy
whatever in the
orders,
grass.
as well as commissions in order to generate these node commodities, these node these node inventory items. By
Owning
which
a
that
castle,
node
that's a great
utilizes to
question.
kick off certain
Seems
either
like there would be
events
a...
or service
I
building
guess if I'm going to be in the game
constructions that
as much as I think I'm going to be, that's a potential.
participate in. I think that this is
I
very
see myself
exciting.
more as
It's absolutely
playing
beautiful and
the
advances
Aragorn
that we want, but
Ranger
what's most important is
floating
to get
around the
your
world.
guys' feedback in the community, you guys as our players, giving
Maybe a
us your
freehold,
thoughts about the
like
visual
breeding the
fidelity
best
that these villages are
horses, you know, in
representing. You'll have an
Olivera.
opportunity to see additional node stages.
It's
as
going to
we
be hard.
progress.
I don't know.
This is a lot of work that the environment team has been doing a
It's going to be a hard
phenomenal
decision.
job, in my opinion, in creating. But you guys need to give us your thoughts. You like what you see here? What can be done better?
Yeah, the
And then
gliding and
we are
flying. We'll
going
see
to
how that
chat
goes.
A little bit more about some of the system changes that we have introduced
Ooh.
as part of our road to Alpha 2 as it relates to the nodes. So yes, go ahead. Yeah.
Is this nodes part 4 or part 5?
Oh, inside
No,
joke.
this is you're gonna kill me.
I was doing. I
This
hope
is-
you're okay.
This is not yet nodes part 4, but this
This
is getting close.
Feels like it has
Oh,
Reddit
okay.
No,
references.
You guys did a great job.
Yeah, I'm
Looks
sure
really
everyone
good.
will get that reference there.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But Chris and I will be joining you guys in just a moment to talk a little bit more in detail about these systems.
Right
in just
on.
a moment. Thanks, guys, for joining us. Appreciate it.
I'll just set this back here. I do appreciate you being with me, chat. That was a lot of fun watching this with somebody. I think this game, I'll have fanboy status. That's fine. I don't care. It's just going to be amazing. I mean, look at this thing. Look at that. This is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to get into Alpha 2. All right. We will see you on the next video again. I appreciate it. If you feel so inclined, subscriptions over on YouTube are always welcome. And, you know, following and all that good stuff here on Twitch. Probably crank another one of these out in the next 24 hours. Thanks again. Oh, thanks for that follow, Tab. All right.